I'd like to do is to introduce you to Darren. Are you there, Darren?
I am, Ed. Thank you.
Oh, great. Okay, so look, everyone, this is Darren. He's from the beautiful country of Australia. For those of you in the UK or Ireland or Vietnam or wherever you are in the world, look, Darren's background is pretty impressive. He has a highly successful business sports background. The reason why we wanted Darren to talk to you is because he got into crypto relatively early. We understand he's in that first wave that we talk about. He got into that relatively early, and now has evolved and has been involved in this space for a while. He has worked and does work advising organizations in quite a number of countries around the world. And he does have a fantastic story, but I don't want him to tell his story. Okay? Darren, I don't want you to tell your story. I want you to share, because you live in this world like I do, right? And we spend our whole time talking about what's happening, and really 10 minutes, what we want is 10 minutes of your wisdom of what you think will happen next year. And please understand that I don't expect people to 100% agree with me, okay? And people have a different view of what's important and what's not. And what I'd love is 10 minutes of your view. And if it's possible, if the guys have any questions.
I come at it from a little bit of a different angle, Ed. Yep. So not only have I come from the crypto background, but I also come from the blockchain, the technology itself background. So I want to talk a bit about crypto and the technology and where I think it's going to go into 2021 as well. Because I think there's lots of similarities with the technology as where I have to agree with Ed. I got involved in the crypto space about 2015, stumbled into it. Got through that first wave, saw lots of different things happen, got in, joined when crypto was about $1,200 a Bitcoin. Wish I'd bought stacks of it back then. And little did I know that not only the crypto space, but also the technology would completely change my world. I want to just sort of discuss a little bit about the basics of blockchain, a little bit about the use cases, where I think the use cases are going to go with blockchain in the next year, because there's some fantastic use cases for the technology as well, not only for the coin and the financial space, but I think the use cases of the technology is fantastic, I think, Ed, for coming into 21, 22, 23 and beyond. And also just want to back up what you were saying there. I think we've crossed the chasm in many ways, and I'll just look at it specifically from technology. If you look at your mobile phone right now, most mobile phones that are coming out with crypto wallets built into them. The new browsers that are coming out with crypto wallets built into them. And I'll talk and show a slide coming up shortly about just the technology and how much money has been spent in that blockchain space at the moment to support the crypto space moving forward in the years to come. So I just want to, because you said you've got some new people on the call here tonight who may not be familiar with the crypto space. So I just want to do a little bit. People look at blockchain. You look at this guy. You think we should build a blockchain, and most people have no idea even what blockchain is. So what I want to just talk about is the basics of blockchain, which really is just a distributed ledger. It allows you to do a transaction between two people. So for those who are unsure, it's just like, instead of having a bank in the middle, which I'll put up here, instead of having a bank in the middle, we want to send some money. Andrew wants to send me some money. We've got to have this banker in the middle. But we don't want to have the banker in the middle. So all crypto does, or the blockchain does, is it allows us to be able to send some money, say some Bitcoin, some Litecoin, some Ethereum, some Ripple, whatever it may be. It allows us to send it to somebody else without having that third person in the middle. That's what I love about crypto. It's decentralized. It allows us to be able to send money or send a transaction to someone without having the greedy middleman in the middle of the banker. So just the basics. So if you're unsure about how a blockchain really works, so Andrew's going to send me, say, $100. That would be Andrew right here, say the buyer. And then Andrew's going to send me, he basically creates a transaction to send me $100. And then using the technology, which is through crypto hashing, using distributed database, Basically, it allows Andrew, without that third person in the middle, to be able to send me that transaction and I receive it at the other end. It makes it nice and simple and nice and easy. Basically, the buyer doesn't have to have the banker in the middle, and allows us to do a transaction without having the third person in the way. So just the basics. So the thing that excites me the most about not only crypto, but also the blockchain is it gives us an opportunity to be able to use the technology that's been created 9 or 10, 11 years ago and being able to bring it into use cases out in the market space for business owners to be able to use the technology. A big one is I see coming forth, and I'm looking at some projects at the moment to be able to create some blockchain projects in the real estate space. So the real estate space it really allows you to do property sales, property management, settle and sign and settle contracts, which is fantastic. Use smart contracts to be able to, which creates trust, peace of mind for your transactions in the real estate space. I think real estate agents and people who are in management of real estate are going to be really excited by the process of using blockchain. I see in 21, 22, 23, as this is phased in, I should say. I'm already seeing it locally here on the Gold Coast, where real estate contracts are already being processed through the blockchain for rental contracts and things like that. Fantastic for utilizing the blockchain. Another one is supply chain management. Andrew and I have talked about this quite a bit. Just the ability to be able to know where your produce comes from using Q codes. So straight from the farmer, straight through to the end produce. So you can go into your local supermarket, scan your phone and be able to utilize the blockchain to know exactly where your food is, even the health industry, agricultural, all that supply chain. I see that being a massive thing for use of the technology of blockchain into 2021, 2, 3, 4. So massive spaces there. The one I love the most is the ability is the energy sector. The ability to use the blockchain to buy and sell energy. I see this as being a massive one. Allows that trust and assurance to be able to buy and sell. So each member of a transaction, say you had solar on your roof, it allows you to be able to either send that to the grid. It allows the grid to work, a charging company, a consumer, and say electric car owner. They could all talk, a transaction could happen. Approval gets done, which is required for the transaction, can all be done through using a blockchain and using smart contracts. And basically mix in with the transactive energy and the suppliers to be able to create an immutable and transaction for the blockchain industry using energy. I think that's a really big one. Documents is another one. Law and banking, to be able to have documents that can't be changed. Documents is a big one. I see lots of use cases into 2021 and more. Supply chain monitoring, banking, obviously, which we talked about. Digital identity is a big one. Who has had their identity stolen before? I see this being a really big one. There's a number of companies that are bringing in digital identity to be able to save your sovereignty. Copyright protection from books and music right through that industry. Digital voting would have been great if we had that about a month ago in America to be able to sort out what's going on over there. Obviously, real estate, charities, trading, pharmaceuticals, asset management is a big one, massive one. Claims in the insurance industry, another big one. And medical, I see medical being a big one as well, just having that efficacy of data as we move forward. And I just see the future adoption of blockchain, to me, is just a natural process moving forward. That decentralization of our data, to be able to have that transparency of our data, to be able to, our data is immutable, you know, the security of the data, easy tracking of information, peer-to-peer interaction, and probably the biggest one is having no third-party interference. And we see that a lot going on in the marketplace at the moment. And I see blockchain as a technology being able to help with that as we move forward. There's been billions of dollars invested in the market space in blockchain technology. Here's some of them just to give you an idea. Platforms like Ed was talking about, Ethereum. There's lots of different platforms out there that have been created to set up for this. wallets that are out there. Identity, there's another one that's not on there called Self-Key. I know there's a company in Melbourne, Australia that's just created an identity platform for the sovereignty of your data. Asset trading, exchanges, and Daxci is a perfect example of that. They're part of the exchange system. Payment processors, there's another one that I've seen over the last few years. I've been watching their process coming out of Switzerland, where you have the ability to pay a business with crypto and be able to receive cash back in your bank account if you're a business. So lots of payment processes are starting to come forth. Loyalty and gift cards, hardware, payment remittance, and lots of other things. There's lots going on in this space where I just see cryptos, for me, and the blockchain as a whole, I just see as the way to go in the coming next few years ahead. So in summary, for me, just to keep it quick, I just see blockchain as the future. I see there's so many use cases for it, and I'm really excited about the process. There's more and more coming on board on a weekly basis. I think the blockchain future really just gives us a world of decentralization, immutable transactions. It's secure, it's trackable. You have peer-to-peer interactions, and we don't have any third-party people interfering in our transactions, whether it be for a business use or whether it be from a payment provider or payment use, like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Daxci coin, all the different coins that are out there. And I just think there's billions of dollars going into the market space at the moment. So if the big companies are starting to invest money into it, the technology is there with not only phones, but also browsers are starting to get ready for that sort of movement. I just see that cryptos and blockchain, for me, it's just no question it's going forward in 2021. I like some of Ed's predictions. I hope, given there's the futurist, I think I like the sound of those numbers, Ed. Hopefully you're right. I'd just like to leave you with a couple of thoughts. This is William Moga. He actually said that the blockchain cannot be described just as a revolution. It's a tsunami-like phenomenon, slowly advancing and gradually enveloping everything along its way by the force of its progression. I just think crypto 2021, watch out. And if you have any business or projects that you're looking to, that you can utilize blockchain in your business, I would say look forth at that possibility and using that technology into your business moving forward. So overall, I think cryptos is going forward massive in 2020.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Darren. I'd like to put